Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Batwoman Season 2, Episode 3, Batgirl Magic. I am so excited. This is going to be the first episode in which Ryan is officially being the substitute Batwoman. Obviously, it's not going to stay substitute, but kind of for now. And I am just excited to see her begin her story and to grow. And surely something is going to come out of the Kryptonite. I like that they're kind of teasing it through because we saw last episode she wanted to get like a pain medication for it. So it's still causing her problems, and I'm intrigued. And I love the show. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon. Let's go.
We didn't order champagne.
No, your wife back home did.
Oh! I mean, I think people that cheat should, you know, suffer, but I don't mean die. I mean, there were some spaces you could have used.
Seriously?
You're getting better.
I would have stuck the landing if the boots actually fit.
Okay, at least they have a different shoe size.
You ain't Batwoman.
Is that so? Luke, I need a good comeback. Luke?
Sorry, nothing's coming.
He agrees, unfortunately. But yeah, this is the best comeback will be just taking this guy down.
I assume this means you have a day job now?
Good morning, Gotham.
They should hire her.
Did I just hire Ryan for a bartending position? Yes. Yes. I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Kate gets back. You make it seem like she's not. Which one is it?
Have you seen her?
Oh my god, did they take Sophie too? I thought they were just going to take Alice. Okay.
You planned on being kidnapped?
She did, yeah.
They're awake, my queen. Good.
Oh, she's properly called herself a queen.
To do us both a favor.
It's been a while since I've killed a queen.
For the
A while.
when you fail and I...
Where is this? Because it looks like somewhere in Europe.
Whatever drama Alice has with you people, I'm not part of it.
Or at least
I
not
don't need to be
America.
here.
No one cares what you need.
Well, lovely. What is even happening?
What kind of a scientist are you?
One in Gotham. But exactly, this is why I am like the America's concept of gun safety. Oh, I'm going to be safe from my home if I have a gun. I'm going to be less prepared than to, like, I'm never going to be more competent than the criminal breaking into my house. I'm going to be terrified, unexpected. The criminal's going to be expected. Like, it's nonsense.
You're a multi-billionaire. Why am I only making $12 billion an hour at the holdup?
True.
We need a manager, and she needs a civilian cover.
Taking over Kate's life. But it works while Kate's not here.
We kind of run in the same circle.
You run in this.
Ran in the same circles.
Mary's trying so hard to keep the peace.
Circles.
He ships in some high-end French skincare lotion. It translates like a baby's butt or something.
Mary would know.
Really good stuff.
You two go.
They all have their areas of expertise.
Come.
You claim, like, what is this relationship?
If it's all the same to you.
Just kill her, Alice, to get over it. If you're gonna do it, you know.
The two of us have a puzzle to solve.
Interesting.
So sit, my friend, and join me for a glass.
Has she been tailing
Like old times.
Sophie, or is somebody else pretending they are the mass criminal queen, Safiyah?
Because
Hey, battery.
Somebody used them all. Used the most.
You don't seem very comfortable in yours. It's like
She's
pass
learning.
for somebody else. I don't see the you in Batman.
Why are we listening to this guy's
You know what I
advice?
see?
Is it a shoulder-fired surface-to-air missile?
Oh, hell no.
Oh god. Like, he was obviously gonna do something. He wasn't just gonna sit there and be arrested. Got the drive at least.
Do whatever you want. Just don't do to me what you did to her.
So you do know me.
I know you broke.
Ryan's backstory.
Apologies if I'm up.
I want you to take out Alice.
Ooh.
Her Wonderland gang.
I don't kill him.
I think he's probably actually a little too scared to go after Alice, actually. That'd be what I'd say to him. I'd be like, oh, she scares you, does she? I'll find a tougher hitman.
Safiyah.
Ooh, what is Safiyah up to?
You have a gang.
Is Safiyah lying, or is there someone just pretending to be her?
Sounds tedious.
Maybe you should have thought about that before you blew up my sister's jet.
I didn't bring down her jet.
And I didn't expose the secret of the Desert Rose.
Follows.
I gave it to just one person.
And who is this person?
Safiyah, I've never heard of her.
She's just heard of you. Though Alice obviously knew she was going to give it to people, so if you let Alice off the hook and just go after Mary, you're an idiot.
What's your problem with her?
I don't have a problem with Ryan.
She's replacing Kate.
Kate is not coming back.
This is giving Mary something to keep fighting and keep walking and keep going.
How can you?
Oh, dear tragedies.
I think as well, it's been so long that if Kate's just alive...
Someone who's not perfect, but who can show us all that there is still hope despite everything.
Yeah.
And that's Ryan.
That's what's keeping Mary going, and even if it's crushing Luke, and I hate this. Mary's grieving. At first she was in sort of the denial of Kate's definitely lied, there can be miracles, and she was trying to stay strong for everyone else. But now she's reaching acceptance. Which is wrong, because Kate's gonna be fine, but...
Where'd her cancer go?
Was it the drug? Was it Desert Rose?
This is a list of Hamilton's record of everyone who was
Yes. Yes, that's what, of course.
What, that every person on this list has a miracle drug running through their veins?
Oh my god. Tell them that someone's here.
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you.
So funny.
Yes.
Oh, Mary, yep. I love her so much. Yeah. Oh god. Alright, Batwoman's coming.
You see me now?
No, look.
I like it. How boring must this day have been? They just sat there.
More use for you.
Yes, Sophie!
Why do you just give up?
When you've knocked him unconscious. Restrain him, restrain him, restrain him, restrain him. Just leave Mary with a serial killer.
Two sisters.
That's what Kate tried to be. But you just never ever reached out the olive branch until it was too late. She's still manipulating you. Okay, I'm glad Alice is not falling for this.
Because I gave you everything.
What is the point of today?
I'll give you your sister.
She's alive. I mean, I know she's alive, but like... Ooh, so she kidnapped her and made her look like she was dead.
Necklace. You have fire in you.
What is Safiyah's game plan?
I'm not.
What was the point of bringing Sophie? I really hope Ruby Rose is in it enough for us to like get resolutions and things.
President made a dramatic debut.
I love Kate. I don't want her to be suffering.
So my to-do list. Do you know what's on Batwoman's to-do list?
Yes.
Literally saving
Housing.
the city from fall.
Oh dear. Together. Sophie might just murder her. I mean, arrest her if she could.
Safiyah spared you, which
Mm-hmm.
means she has a crush on you, which is all very well and good until it's not. You might never tell me where Kate is.
Yeah, that is one way to make sure Sophie will potentially let her go. They all need to know Kate's definitely alive, including Luke.
Where do they get a professional photo of you?
You didn't hear. Yeah, Mary's doing all my PR now.
I didn't even think about that.
And I wanted to say I'm sorry for being so hard on you. You kicked some major ass yesterday.
You miss Kate,
Yeah.
but I need you to give me a chance. A real chance. Till she's back. Let me make some upgrades to the Batmobile.
Okay, now you're being great.
Doesn't change the fact that it is how I feel.
That doesn't change how I feel.
I don't think Mary can bear the hope just to be crushed. So I need to see her get to reunite with Kate.
I'm mind giving the boss some photos from dude in the black mask?
Is he the dude? Oh. Oh.
Actually, that's why I'm here.
Do you have any idea what in the hell Kate was doing looking into a painting by Jack Napier?
Maybe we can ask her when we find her, sir.
Tell Mary and Luke. Oh. He gets me with his love for his daughters every time. That was another really good episode. It was probably my least favourite of the first 3, but I really, really enjoyed it. I think for me, I kind of didn't love all the Safiyah stuff like I did. I think it was really interesting, but it didn't mesh well, if that makes sense. And I kind of felt like Sophie was just sat, like, why was she just sat there all day? I kind of get it at the end, especially. I think the ending of the Safiyah stuff really tipped it for me. I loved finally getting to see Safiyah and seeing her island, but I mean, I want an island somewhere where we have a crazy flower and everyone calls me queen. Where's my island? No, it was really, really good to finally get to see Safiyah, and to kind of see her relationship with Alice and learn a little bit more about that, you know, to kind of hear more of their story and to see just how messed up it is, and the fact that Safiyah spent so, like, it was obvious she was being manipulative, but the way she spent the whole beginning trying to be like, I know nothing about this, me, I've done nothing wrong, I would never, I've not even thought about you, to at the end being like, yeah, I have your sister. It shows you kind of how her mind works, but it also helps explain Alice even more, because the person that trained her after all those years of trauma and abuse, where she was trained to kind of be cruel and be willing to inflict pain or whatever, and just then became very manipulative, it does help to explain Alice even further. But it was very interesting. I'm scared about what she wants with Sophie. I'm scared about what her mission is that she wants Alice to do. But I mean, Sophie has a lot of information on Safiyah right now. She knows she's on an island somewhere. She knows that it's somewhere with the desert rose. So you just need to look into, like, where Coriana. I'm thinking it's like a Mediterranean island. When I was like, is it in Europe? I kind of was meaning Mediterranean, which I know doesn't only cover Europe. But I suppose it could be anywhere. Not America. I was like, it's not the USA. I'm just very intrigued about what Sophie and Jacob are going to do now. I really want someone to tell Mary that Kate is alive, and at the same point, if they fail to get Kate back and Kate gets killed by Safiyah, which isn't going to happen, that would crush Mary. I think, I'll stick with Sophie. So poor Sophie this episode, she got kidnapped, thought she was going to die the whole episode, just had to sit there with this assassin that wasn't even making good conversation, have a fight, and then get drugged and brought home again. But I love the concept that, you know, she would have fought Alice to the death, or to, you know, try to restrain her, but Alice saying, well, if you arrest me, I will not help, like, I won't do what Safiyah says and we won't get Kate back, she'll kill Kate, which is such another interesting dynamic there, another interesting dynamic that will potentially stop Sophie going after her. It might stop Jacob going after her. Are they going to tell Mary and the Bat people? Because then is Ryan gonna have to choose between helping them get Kate back and Alice? You know, it adds another dynamic to Alice's story and to Alice still being around, because like I have said, as much as I think she's fantastic, she's one of the best parts of this show, she's a brilliant villain, she's not a character that's gonna have like 10 seasons worth of villainy in her. Like, the plot will kind of, unless they're like have some ingenious ideas, will get stale eventually. Now it's only season 2, but I love that that's a way they're kind of keeping her involved, and I don't know how long it's going to be till we see Kate. I know someone was like, oh, Ruby Rose will be in it, and I hope she is at some point, and I hope she's in it for a couple of episodes, and even I'm guessing it won't be until maybe the latter part of the season, if it's this season, and maybe even next season because of COVID restrictions and limiting people on set and everything. Because I feel like for Kate to come back at any point, it would need to be when Ryan is extremely established as Batwoman, so that almost, I guess, Kate is like, there's too many bad memories in this city, but I feel comfortable leaving you here. Gotham is fine, they don't need me, and then she can come in and out as much as she wants as like a visit, and I can think that Mary has a relationship with her, but rather than her like being there or something, that's kind of how I could see it going, what with Ruby Rose not wanting to be in the show full time, and Ryan being Batwoman. Whereas like if Kate turned up tomorrow, I think Kate would be like, okay, I'm Batwoman again. But yes, so I'm very intrigued. I love that we have answers that yes, it was Safiyah, but you know, Kate wasn't on the plane, and I'd always been thinking like, well, I was sort of thinking Kate's probably alive, but she wasn't on the plane, because obviously if she was on the plane she would be dead. And then I was thinking, you know, like, oh, maybe she got off the plane just in time, but then I was like, that's quite harsh on the pilot. But no, that explains it, if she was abducted somehow before. And yeah, I feel like they need to contact National City. They should have ages ago, and got all the evidence of the plane and wherever it took off from at the airport. Got Cara to help them out too. But yes, So that was good. And seeing kind of Alice's backstory and the way they talked to each other, it was very Alice-y. You could very understand that at no point was she fooled by Safiyah, at no point was Safiyah thinking that Alice was fooled, but they still kept up the pretense for the entire day before that final fight where she was able to show the necklace. And I like that she called Alice out on her feelings for Kate, on the fact that as much as she walks around going, I hate my sister, I'm going to kill her, I'm going to get my dad to kill her, I hate her, there is a part of her that loves her. And while it's true that Alice, you know, what she said about how I thought we were the same and then I found out we weren't, is, yeah, but that's because you're evil. Kate gave you so many chances last season. And okay, yeah, when it came down to it, you thought you were working with Kate and then Kate, you know, locked you up. But you are a serial killer with no remorse. Arkham sucks. Arkham needs to be closed down and a new facility needs to be open, but Kate necessarily doesn't know that. And Alice, regardless of that fact, Alice is not safe on the streets. And even if Alice and Mal had just left, like Alice had said, who else would they have ended up killing? Alice doesn't care about killing. So I don't in any way blame Kate. But I hope, that's part of why I hope Rose is in at least a few episodes, because I want a conclusion with her and Alice. I want a conclusion with her and Jacob. I want a conclusion with her and Matt. I want to see these relationships. I want Jacob and Kate to have a real conversation about Batwoman and everything. I don't know how she and Alice could have one and then leave. I feel like that would have to be with Alice being like arrested or something, because otherwise surely Kate would want to stay to deal with Alice, but I don't know. I'm just intrigued about what's going to happen there, but I think it would take a couple of episodes, or at least an episode to get her back and then an episode where they round things off. So yes, Alice is going to do God knows what. She doesn't have her gang, she doesn't have a mouse, but she potentially will be tapping in with people like Sophie and Mary and dangling over the fact that I can get Kate back. If you help me, we'll get Kate back. The kind of crime of the week this episode I think it could have been delved into a little bit more, but I liked that it was tied into Safiyah, that she was the one, so it did kind of tie the episode together, that she was trying to track down all the people who had the Desert Rose because it cured anything that was wrong with them. Because, I mean, I'm sorry, this is like a miracle cure. I know that Safiyah's a weird crime person, but you think maybe she makes money selling it to people or something, but really, like, yeah, that island should have most of the plants taken and studied and then we can cure cancer and every illness ever. Yeah, I'm sorry, Safiyah, fuck off. So if you got cancer, you'd be taking it, but that is really interesting to me. And it's a sort of thing that if that were to happen in the real world, you'd hope that they'd be able to use the samples they had and work out some kind of cure that can be used in the future. I'm glad that woman is going to be okay, that her cancer's gone. And I'm wondering if that's ever going to come up again, if we're going to have any kind of further repercussions from that. I mean, Safiyah will be not too happy. She'll probably send another hitman after those people. Surely they're going to have to send out protection, because I don't think Safiyah's going to be like, well, my first hitman failed to kill all the people that have my drug. Oh well. And is Safiyah just going to be cool with Mary running free? Like, what? I do also find it interesting that she's like, oh, you know, okay, Alice, I won't be overly angry at you right now for displaying my secret, but the person you gave it to, intending for her to give it, like, obviously Safiyah isn't just letting off the hook, but I think that's going to be interesting going forward. Is Safiyah just going to forget about Mary and all the people that had it, or is that going to be a reoccurring thing that Mary is now in Safiyah's crosshairs somehow? Although really it was all Alice. Anyway. Ryan, this episode, I love her so much, and I think it was hilarious and kind of weird, the fact that it took a hitman being like, suit doesn't suit you, for her to kind of have the confidence to make the change. Now, I do think she ought to have spoken to Luke and Mary about it before she did it. I get that it was for the impact of the episode that she suddenly had the change to suit, just because I don't have any problems with her changing it. It's in the same way that Kate and Luke changed up the suit. Bruce could have turned up the next week and been like, what have you done to my suit? And I think if it helps her feel more confident and comfortable and more like her, it will help her as Batwoman. But at the same time, she really should have told them first, because that could have really felt like, they could have felt like she was being disrespectful to Kate and Kate's legacy, and that she was trying to say, I'm the only Batwoman now, or whatever. Now, we know that's not the case, obviously, and I do think that Mary obviously knows that's not the case, and that for Luke, it came after the conversation with Mary, which is good, but realistically, I do think she should have spoken to them about it. I love the new look. I feel like in the promo picture I used to like cover up parts of the scenes, all of the wig is red, so I don't know whether that's going to be something that gets added into it, but I do know it has got the red tint, so maybe I am just misremembering, and when I'm editing this I'll be thinking, what an idiot I am. Probably that. So for Ryan, I'm really glad that they've given her a job, and like a job that she's more than qualified for, more than capable of, but that is the truth in the real world, that people just do not give ex-cons a chance. So I love that she's kind of got a job, and that will help her having an income, getting a place to live, and kind of being able to finally start to escape the mold that her life forced her into. I would love if somehow we're able to prove that she was framed and get her exonerated. I think just for her own sake going forward, that would be brilliant, but I also think that her strength and resilience despite everything is amazing. And it's another dynamic that she has so many I mean, Ryan had dies to this crazy hitman, and she's like, oh, I know him, I know where he'd be hanging out. Like, Ryan! Like, I get that she, from what Sophie said, that she clearly was dating someone that was not a good person, that potentially like worse than anything she was framed for. So I think Ryan's past is still fascinating to me, and I expect we'll be exploring more. We'll probably even meet this ex at some point. But it was all very interesting that she was able to just pal up with him and he knew her. But she adds a different dynamic to it than Kate. She is very much knows the ground, she knows the street level, she can kind of think about what the criminals might do because she's been around them for so long, and she has the outlook of prison, etc. that, like she said, in that security job, that will also help her with the Batwoman angle. So I think it's really sort of refreshing that she's not just like Kate 2.0, they have done a good job in making a character believable in that she's capable of being Batwoman, but so different to Kate. And I love little things like she's not good at aiming and she just kept throwing them, and there's so many daft things like that, and she's still not quite got the at the beginning she couldn't quite do the landing, but by the end she was getting more confident, and it will take training, especially when she was in a suit that was designed for somebody else, whereas now it's more, it fits her, she'll feel comfortable, she won't feel like she's, you know, a kid putting on her mum's high heels and pretending to be a lady. I don't know, I didn't actually do that when I was a child, so that's just a TV show trope. But I think it's very important for her that she's doing good, she is inspiring people, she's feeling confident in herself, she's being accepted by Mary and at the end by Luke, she has a job, she is going to be able to get a house, like, or a place to live. Like, that is just so important for her, and I'm really, really enjoying Ryan. This episode, Luke and Mary, Mary breaks my heart, because in the first episode I was in awe of how strong she was. She was a rock for everyone else in her life, even when her life was falling apart months after losing her mother. You know, she stayed strong for Luke because that's what he needed. She told him she had hope because that's what she needed, and I think at that point in her grief she was still in that. No, Kate's out there, Kate's fine, but as time passes in any situation like this, the longer someone is just missing, especially after something like a plane crash, the less likely it is that she's going to be alive. Now, we do know in this show, obviously, that miracles happen, like the fact that Alice exists. And, you know, there's always the concept that maybe she didn't get on the plane and all that kind of thing. But you can see why by this point Mary has lost that hope. And the thing that's giving Mary the ability to wake up in the morning and keep going is Ryan. It's continuing to do good in the city, both at her clinic and through Batwoman, is seeing this person as hope that Kate's legacy can continue. That is what is keeping Mary going. Whereas Luke was sort of, he still fully believes Kate's out there, which I love about him, and he hated the fact that Ryan was was kind of in his mind trying to take over Kate's life, first becoming Batwoman, then getting a job in Kate's bar. Kind of, I can see why when you're grieving someone, seeing that would also put you on edge, but I like that kind of after talking to Mary, Luke didn't say, yeah, okay, I think Kate's dead too. He was like, well, no, I don't think like that, I don't believe that, but he realised that he was being a bit harsh on Ryan, and I love that he was able to make that gesture at the end and kind of make peace with her, and I'm really enjoying them, and I'm really looking forward to, is what I meant to say, their friendship as it grows. I love Luke, that he has not lost hope. I mean, for him, Bruce just vanished. For all we know, he's dead. I mean, I don't think he's dead, but Luke must be like, how has this happened to both of them on my watch or when I was there? Right on, and after all the stuff with his dad, like there's just a lot on Luke for Luke, and I'm glad that he's staying so optimistic about Kate, but I totally understand why Mary isn't. So much time has passed. Kate hasn't turned up. There's been no sign of her. I do hope that Sophie or her dad or someone tells her about the thing with Safiyah, but then at the same time, if they do and it were to go wrong, that would crush her even more, because I think that's something that almost Mary, she can't live on just sustained hope. She can't keep going with just the hope that everything's going to be fine. She needs proof that it will be, and she's not going to get any. And after what happened with her mother and seeing just the world that she lives in is not one where she currently feels able to hope, and I hate that, because that kind of, Mary was always the optimistic one, the one that kind of could see the hope and the good, and I'm worried about her. But I can understand it, that she is just in a terribly dark place, and I hope that she's able to kind of get a little bit more of that hope back. Ryan is giving her hope about Gotham and the world, but my heart's breaking for Mary. She's my favourite character, and my heart's breaking for her. She and Kate were both my favourite characters, and while Kate's not in it, it's just Mary, though Ryan is very fast creeping up there, and Luke has always almost been there. I think the show needs to give him a little bit more time again, like they did when the plotline with his dad, but I'm looking forward to kind of seeing more of Luke as well. But yeah, I am really enjoying this series so much. I look forward to Batwoman every week, and while this was my least favourite of the season 2, it by no means was a bad episode. It was just, it hasn't left me feeling quite as hyped as the previous 2 did, although the ending did. The ending with knowing that Kate is with Safiyah, knowing that that Jacob and Sophie, like, I think she's alive, you know, him looking through the photos, like, there's Kate was looking at that painting, like, there's so much going on, that hyped me up, and Luke accepting Ryan really hyped me up as well, so I'm excited. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all my reactions on my Patreon, and this is the first of the month, is the perfect time to join, as you get charged every first of the month, and when you sign up. So yeah, thank you so much for watching.